Hello everyone, this is Gurjant Banga and we are with the first episode of Business Drilling Down. आज के एपिसोड के हमारे जो गेस्ट थे, he is from small town of Bihar and he started a edtech startup from scratch. So आज के एपिसोड में हमने बहुत सारी बातें की हैं regarding the revolution and opportunities coming in education industry and a lot of insights of business starting from scratch. So please watch the episode till the end, and if you like the content, please hit the subscribe button and like our video. Thank you. Hello Adil. First of all, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for inviting. Great to be here. And let's have a bro face first.
Yes. That's a good way to start, I guess. Awesome.
Right.
So Adil, आप मेरे ऑडियंस को थोड़ा सा अपना इंट्रोडक्शन दे दो, like what you guys are doing, like in which space you are, then we'll start from there.
So I'm Adil Meraj. I'm founder and CEO of Gurucool. Gurucool is an edtech platform, just like your Facebook as a social networking platform or LinkedIn as a professional networking platform. We are building an educational networking platform. तो simple अगर बोले तो Facebook for education. That's what we are building. पढ़ाई का Facebook या पढ़ाई का LinkedIn आप समझ लीजिए. तो वही हम बना रहे हैं. And we started in 2021, and till now we have 250,000 250,000 learners with us and more than 500,000 community members with us right now.
So Adil, I want to know like how you guys started, how you got the idea, और यहाँ तक कैसे, मतलब वो journey I want to know regarding the business like you have created.
So, when I was in 9th, 10th class, Facebook was booming in India.
Okay.
And I was personally very addicted to it. मैंने एक पेज बनाया स्कूल पे जो काफी हिट गया.
अच्छा.
And वो कन्फेशन पेज था. तो
आपके पास बहुत सारे कन्फेशन होंगे.
right. And उस पे रोजाना कन्फेशन पढ़ने के लिए स्टूडेंट्स तो आते ही थे, टीचर्स भी आते थे पढ़ने के लिए. So like I saw the power of it, but kind of it turned out कि थोड़ी चीजें नेगेटिव होने लगी. And I was very addicted to Facebook, so I kind of shut it down.
Okay.
And I realized that I cannot go on with this negativity.
आपने पेज शेयर नहीं किया किसी के साथ? मैं आपके कॉलेज में होता ना, मैं रीड जरूर करता.
अच्छा.
It is my dream कि कन्फेशन पेज मेरा हो और मैं पढूं सब क्या लिख रहे हैं.
ओह,
सॉरी फॉर इंटरप्टिंग यू.
नहीं तो ऐसे बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग कन्फेशंस आते थे. लोगों को लगता था कि हमें पता है कि वो कन्फेशन कौन कर रहा है. So like people used to find कि अच्छा ये confession किसके पास है.
Connecting the dots.
हाँ right. But वो option हमने दिया ही नहीं था कि like people can post anonymously. Okay. ठीक है. तो coming to this part, so I kind of thought that why can't we create a networking platform which is focusing on productive side of human being. Which is not hooking you up. जैसे अभी हम लोग घंटों doom scrolling कर रहे होते हैं, binge watching कर रहे होते हैं, एक रील के बाद दूसरा रील, and there's so much negativity which is going on. कमेंट में फाइट चल रहा है और भी बहुत सारी चीजें चल रही हैं. So we thought of creating a platform which caters to एजुकेशनल पर्सोना. किसी भी बच्चों का कोई भी एजुकेशनल नीड है वो उनको सर्व करें, विच शुड promote productivity, growth, learning, enhancement. And so that's why we thought why not create a platform which looks and feels like social media platform. Because it's very easy. Social media platforms are very easy to use. They are open for everyone to use. That's why anyone can just log in and start going. So and we are building so that openness, that fun factor in it, but also keeping in mind the learning and productivity part. So that's why we started working on it. In 2021 we started conceptualizing it.
Okay.
And just in March this year we launched it for few early users. So that's why I was mentioning 250,000 users.
Okay.
There are early users. We are still, enhancing the product, enhancing the platform, getting the feedback, iterating on our platform. So yeah, it's still going on.
तो जब आपको ये आइडिया आया,
Mhm.
you were in college, right?
I was like uh, I was in college जब idea आया. I was in second year. Yeah.
Okay. So उसके बाद you said कि we started है ना?
Hmm.
So we like how you gather a team and because जो platform मैंने देखा है आपका platform पढ़ा है, it's very much professional platform, very easy to use. Guys, please go to that platform. Okay, I will give the link below. तो मैंने देखा बहुत easy है. तो आपने वो टीम गैदर की, कैसे वो मतलब सिर्फ एक इंसान के आइडिया से कैसे वो 2.5 मिलियन यूजर्स अट्रैक्ट कर पाया, वो क्या जर्नी है? मतलब कैसे आपने रीच आउट किया डिजाइनर्स को या आपने खुद बिल्ड किया वो ऐप या कैसे?
सी कभी भी अगर आपको टीम बिल्ड करना है, यू स्टार्ट विद पीपल you know and the people who trust on you,
Yeah.
and they are the close people.
Okay.
So you start looking from them, whether from these close people, if there is someone who really aligns with the vision, who wants to work with me or not. You start with the closest one, but then जरूरी नहीं कि आपके सर्कल में ऐसे लोग हैं जो कि बहुत ही एक्साइटेड अबाउट एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप. बहुत जगह पे ऐसा होता है. यू लाइक आई वेंट टू द कॉलेज एंड द फर्स्ट डे व्हेन द टीचर आस्क्ड कि आप लोग क्या बनेंगे, एवरीवन वाज लाइक हमें गवर्नमेंट जॉब में जाना है, गवर्नमेंट जॉब में जाना है, एवरीवन, and I was like जब सब कोई गवर्नमेंट ही जॉब में जाएगा, who will be doing other things, who will be doing entrepreneurship, who will be taking initiatives in social work, etc. So ऐसे सर्कल्स भी होते हैं, ऐसे इन्वायरमेंट भी होते हैं जहाँ पे बहुत ही ज़्यादा एक डायरेक्शन दे दिया जाता है कि इधर की तरफ ही आप सोचें. तो बहुत जगह पे बहुत की फैमिलीज ऐसे होती हैं जो कि किसी पर्टिकुलर प्रोफेशन में, अब जैसे डॉक्टर्स हैं, सो लाइक दे आर आस्किंग देयर चिल्ड्रन टू बी डॉक्टर्स. अगर कोई इंजीनियर है, दे वांट देयर चिल्ड्रन टू बी इंजीनियर्स, एंड दे जस्ट, और या फिर फैमिली बिजनेस है, दे वांट देयर चिल्ड्रन टू इन्वॉल्व इन द फैमिली बिजनेस. तो कहीं ना कहीं वो एक इन्वायरमेंट आपको सफोकेट कर रहा होता है. But then you start looking from the closest one, and then you kind of start
Basically, you
expanding the periphery.
You got from
right
all around yourself. You got the people, get the team, and start building this.
Yeah, I asked few friends, I called few friends, and मैंने अगर 10 को कॉल किया, 3 turned out, they came to me, and उनमें से फिर दे उनमें से फिर 2 जो हैं वो मेरे साथ उन्होंने स्टार्ट किया, and then after starting, people start, if they start seeing what you're building, they start aligning. तो और भी लोग जिनको आप जानते भी नहीं हैं, वो आपको अप्रोच करते हैं, वो आपसे कनेक्ट करते हैं, and then you start sharing, and people see the energy, they see the idea, they if they really will believe that यार ये आइडिया जो है या ये जो वर्क है जो हम कर रहे हैं ये सच में सक्सेसफुल होगा, तो why not people will join you. वैसे भी बहुत ऐसे कम इनिशिएटिव्स निकलते हैं जिसमें लोग ज्वाइन कर सके, and
basically you're saying that you share the vision with the closest people and the people will automatically join if your vision is like clear to them, right?
True. You share what you want to build, and you kind of also not just share but start doing it.
Yeah.
You start doing so that it, when you start manifesting it, जब आप कुछ करने लगते हैं ना तो वो दिखने लगता है, जब वो दिखने लगता है वो बिकने लगता है, तो
ये टैगलाइन बड़ी अच्छी है, जब दिखने लगता है बिकने लगता है,
राइट.
तो मतलब आई गॉट इट. completely and agree with you as well. तो उस टाइम पे जब आपने ये शुरू किया है ना, तो नेक्स्ट है कि आपका 2021 में तो टाइमिंग परफेक्ट थी आपकी शायद, क्योंकि 2000 कोविड से पहले ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन का इतना ट्रेंड नहीं था, है ना। तो लेकिन ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन 2021 में बूम में थी, लेकिन आपने ये सोचा फेसबुक एंड लिंक्डइन ये सब प्लेटफॉर्म्स अभी भी हैं, है ना, और ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन के लिए कोर्सेरा है एंड मतलब बहुत सारे हैं प्लेटफॉर्म्स, तो हाउ यू गाइज आर डिफरेंट फ्रॉम देम। तो उस टाइम पे डर नहीं लगा कि यार हम कुछ ऐसा शुरू कर रहे हैं जिसमें सिमिलर स्पेस में बहुत सारी चीजें ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्ट करती हैं, इट्स नॉट मतलब how you make it unique,
Yeah,
because every idea is not unique but you have to make it
right,
है ना।
so when you look at networking platforms, there are many that, as you mentioned, Facebook है, LinkedIn है, Twitter है, वगैरह वगैरह, एंड देन लर्निंग के कई सारे प्लेटफॉर्म्स है, आपने मेंशन किया कोर्सेरा हो गया, एडेक्स हो गया, इंडिया में यूडेमी हो गया, you have Bijus, etc. Lots of platform in learning, lots of platform in networking. What we are doing is we are combining the best of them, so educational networking platform.
Okay.
That is what we are building.
So basic, that is your USP, I would say.
Yeah, that is what we are building. अगर like if you इंडिया में एक पर्सन हमारे एज का 9 सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म यूज करता है, मतलब आप ये जनरली ये डेटा है कि एक इंसान 9 सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म यूज कर रहा है हमारे एज का, तो वही इफ आदिल मिराज इज ऑन ट्विटर ही इज वेरी ओपिनियनेटेड, इफ द आदिल मिराज इज ऑन फेसबुक तो बहुत ही इनफॉर्मल है, वही अगर इंस्टाग्राम पे बहुत ही कूल चीजें पोस्ट कर रहा है,
Correct.
वही अगर लिंक्डइन पे जाए तो बहुत ही प्रोफेशनल हो गया। सेम आदिल मिराज, सेम पर्सन हैज डिफरेंट पर्सोना ऑन डिफरेंट प्लेटफॉर्म। what we are saying that hey, why not you must also have educational requirements, learning requirements, learning is a lifelong journey, right? तो क्यों ना एक ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म बनाते हैं आपके लिए जो कि आपके एजुकेशनल पर्सोना को कैटर करे, and that's why we started building tools कि आपकी अगर कोई जरूरत है, like if you want a course, if you have course tool, if you want to buy books, you have book market, if you want to do a test series, you have that, if you want to attempt a quiz, you have that, if you have doubts you can ask questions, and lots of different tools to satisfy and cater to your educational needs.
So मतलब सेम आइडेंटिटी के साथ मैं उस प्लेटफॉर्म में जा सकता हूँ, कैन प्ले डिफरेंट रोल्स, राइट
सेम मैं सेम पर्सन, if I have any learning goals or educational needs, I can go to Gurucool and start my journey from there.
अच्छा, इसके साथ एक बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग, जैसे कोविड में ना, like let's take the example of Bijus, okay, so everybody was like online education is the future, right? Everybody was like, for 2 years it was like selling point, like education is going to change, but जैसे ही कोविड खत्म हुआ ना, तो correct me if I'm wrong, but offline has come into picture again and in a very vital way, I would say, कि भाई उसने दोबारा से online went to the back step, I guess, है ना। तो आप भी offline में हो, I guess, right? You guys are doing offline. तो what is the future of education? How you see offline or online or balance? Like कैसे देखते हो आप?
See, before COVID, education market was already growing at 16-70% per year, so it was already growing. Online Edtech was really at booming before COVID also. In COVID it kind of multiplied, because there was no option. अब जो COVID आया, it was something which was not something anyone thought about, or something anyone planned about. It disrupted the education. Billions of students were out of their classroom. So अब क्या है कि अगर मैं आपको बोलूं कोई चीज, आपको मैं जबरदस्ती बोलूं कि अब तो तुम क्लास नहीं जा सकते, अब तुम स्कूल नहीं जा सकते, you do not have choice. it feels different than when you are going to a school and you are like,
making
hey,
a choice.
Like, would you prefer online education? Would you prefer these world class courses from
अच्छा.
world class educators
हम्म.
on these topics? You know, so अब क्या हुआ कि कोविड में ये चॉइस नहीं था, कोविड में वो एक आपको एक डिक्टेट था कि आपको करना ही पड़ेगा और आपके पास कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है नो. सो कहीं ना कहीं उसके खिलाफ ना एक रेजेंटमेंट था, यू नो, दैट
आई एम बीइंग फोर्स्ड बेसिकली, वो फीलिंग था.
हाँ कि मजा नहीं आ रहा है,
हाँ.
फीलिंग नहीं आ रही है, यू नो, क्लासेस कोई भी और जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर जिस तरह से स्कूल्स में भी ऑनलाइन ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन था, जैसे स्कूल पे क्लासेस ली गई, वो भी बहुत ही बोरिंग तरीके से, यू नो, कोई भी टीचर आ रहा है बस अपना क्लास लेके, यू नो, कुछ कुछ बोल के और चला जा रहा है, यू नो. तो बच्चे भी अब जैसे था ना कि कैमरा ऑफ करके सो रहे हैं, यू नो, या फिर अटेंडेंस लगा के सो गए, या फिर किसी को बोल दिया कि तुम अटेंडेंस लगा दो, मैं सो जाता हूँ, यू नो. या फिर एग्जाम भी हो रहा है तो एक दूसरे को नोट्स फॉरवर्ड कर रहे हैं. तो इट वाज मोर ऑफ एक सब्स्टिट्यूट की तरह देखा गया, एक हैक की तरह देखा गया, एक फोर्स्ड ऑप्शन की तरह देखा गया, rather than there was a willful, you know, willful move towards online education.
तो इंक्रीज होगा इन फ्यूचर?
ऑफ कोर्स होगा. लाइक अब जैसे मैंने बोला कि कोविड से पहले ऑलरेडी ग्रो कर रहा था,
ओके.
तो कोविड के बाद जो अननेचुरल ग्रो हुआ, यू नो, वो फिर कम होने लगा. पीपल स्टार्टेड गोइंग बिकॉज ऑफ कोर्स लाइक जो लोग बस जबरदस्ती क्या आए थे वो वापस जाने लगे ऑफलाइन सेंटर्स पे. their universities, schools opened, so they started going there, you know. But then, you know, there's also this constant increment towards ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन, और वो होता रहेगा, वो बढ़ता रहेगा, खास करके विद कमिंग ऑफ विद न्यू टेक्नोलॉजीज, यू नो, विद एआई, with various you know innovations in education sector, edtech particularly, you will see massive growth towards online education. I think there will be a perfect sweet spot, a balance between online and offline, which will be there.
Okay, so means offline and online के भी balance होगा.
Right. एक ऐसा है कि हम लोग मानते हैं कि ऑफलाइन में कुछ लिमिटेशंस हैं कि आपको एक जगह पे जाना है, एक वक्त पे जाना है, एक टीचर्स के साथ, यू नो, एक टाइम पे आपको पढ़ना पड़ेगा, ठीक है. वो एक लिमिटेशन है. एक क्लास में 100 बच्चे, 200 बच्चे, 2000 बच्चे, यू नो, वो एक लिमिटेशन है कि मुझे इतने दूर तक जाना पड़ रहा है, एक बोरिंग टीचर पढ़ा रहे हैं, वगैरह वगैरह, बहुत सारे लिमिटेशंस हैं. ऑनलाइन का ये लिमिटेशन है, उसमें फीलिंग नहीं आती, या कई लोगों को फीलिंग नहीं आती, यू नो. सो दैट्स द थिंग दैट ऑफलाइन हैज इट्स लिमिटेशंस, ऑनलाइन लैक्स द सोल. I think phygital is the future. We call it phygital, physical plus digital.
Very interesting word.
Where phygital is the future.
Okay. ये phygital थोड़ा explain करोगे, like is it with the AI it will happen? आपने AI और just one more thing, इसी क्वेश्चन को ऐड करते हुए कि मैं बड़ी सारी वीडियोस देखता हूँ, है ना, कि हमने इतना इनोवेट किया इतना, लेकिन मैं एक वीडियो देखता हूँ 1920s में और 1817 में लोग जैसे पढ़ा रहे थे, आज भी वैसे ही एजुकेशन है. तो आवर फ्यूचर इज एजुकेशन, मतलब देयर विल बी a lot of innovations going to come in education system. तो is it correct to relate it with कि जो ये आप फिजिटेक बोल रहे हो, तो it will come with AI and how it will look like, मैं वो जानना चाहता हूँ.
See, I think the new innovations that will come will add to the, you know, add to already existing system.
Okay.
तो ऐसा नहीं है कि टीचर्स बिल्कुल ही रिप्लेस कर दिए जाएंगे. As we say Gurucool, you know, I can never imagine an AI to you know, replace my precious educators who are so empathetic, who loved us, you know. who had genuine care for us. I don't think AI can do that for us. So gurus are not going to be replaceable. What AI is going to do is going to personalize education. It can be helpful for the teachers to create course plan. For example, a teacher can use AI to create course plans, create content for their students. Students can ask questions 24 into 7. you know then you can also find various study material. You can also have better recommendation system via AI, or even at the remotest of places, like where education hasn't yet reached, or quality of education hasn't reached, or their teachers are not trained enough. AI can really help
To train them.
to train the teachers,
Yeah.
as well as to assist the students to pursue self learning. So those who are capable enough or enthusiastic enough to self learn, uh, n- I think everything that has to be said in the world has already been said.
Okay.
And everything, all the learning material is already out there.
Okay.
It takes courage, it takes a passion to self learn. And not many people are aware about it. Everybody wants to go to college, wants to go to a school, but you know people need to understand that even without going there, they can still learn. And a few people who have already started doing that, they have started seeing the result. So self learning will be crucial for those who do not have money to afford,
Going to colleges and big
yeah, right.
colleges. Yeah.
Or where the you know where when the flood comes, many areas in Bihar, Uttarakhand, etc., they are in flood.
Basically, the natural
So
calamity which
right,
we have
right,
seen already during
right.
COVID.
So students are not able to go to schools. So in cases like that, or where you if you go to Ladakh region or northeast region, where you have areas where the reach is not still there. The schools are not there, colleges are not there, quality educators are not there. I think with the coming of the innovation technology, many problem related to education is going to be solved.
So awesome. We actually, this was the answer I was looking for. Ki this will be, AI will come as a like boost to the education, to like reachability, जो इंडिया में अभी मुझे लगता है सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है, illiteracy. We are not reached to the like education में we are not doing enough, I guess, है ना? So that will be solved with this, I guess. So
Right.
next, coming to your company again, what is your day-to-day role in your company, Gurucool? Like, what's your daily routine looks like? What's your role basically now?
So I, of course, if I am CEO, I look after all the uh, how every team is doing. I have to look after plans, monthly goals, of every team, how they are doing day by day. So like from that perspective, I have to be kind of a leader for every team. But then I also am very much involved in tech, design and tech. I'm also involved with you know I'm involved with operations.
Okay.
So, and I'm also involved with fundraising.
Okay.
So because for a startup, funds are really important, and a founder needs to be involved in it to really, because nobody can convey the vision better than the founder.
Yep. Yep.
So if
Because it's actually, it's your baby. You started it, like it was in your head, and then people started to see. Is it?
राइट, कहीं ना कहीं अगर आपने उस पे इतना वर्क किया है,
Mhm.
you understand it better,
Yeah.
than anyone else, and आप शायद भले ही आप अपने सारी चीज़ों को कन्वे ना कर पाए एक इन्वेस्टर को, लेकिन शायद आप अपने जेन्युइनिटी, अपना पैशन कन्वे कर सकते हैं।
Yeah.
कई दफ़ा वही इम्प्रेस करने के लिए काफ़ी रहेगा।
तो ये बड़ा अच्छा टॉपिक आपने छेड़ा, मैं इस पे बात करना चाहता था, फंडिंग, इन्वेस्टर, क्योंकि अभी जो हमारे ऑडियंस देख रहे हैं, दे वांट टू गेट टू नो कि ये कैसे शुरू होता है, बिकॉज कैपिटल इन द बिजनेस रिक्वायरमेंट, ये सबके मन में बहुत बड़ा मिथ है यार, जब कैपिटल ही नहीं तो हाउ वी विल स्टार्ट, एंड नाउ द फंडिंग एवरीबडी इज अवेयर ऑफ, लेकिन कैसे अप्रोच करना है, इज देयर एनी प्लेटफॉर्म और हाउ, बिकॉज आप वहां पहुंचे हो, यू कैन टेल योर विजन, बट वो जर्नी वहां तक पहुंचना ना, बहुत सारे मिथ्स हैं, और वहाँ करेक्ट वे से कैसे पहुंचना है, और ये फंडिंग किस स्टेज पे आपको लेनी चाहिए, बिकॉज पीपल डू नॉट लाइक, ये नहीं है कि मैंने आज बिजनेस शुरू किया मैं कल फंडिंग के लिए, तो वो क्या सही टाइम है फंडिंग के लिए, और क्या सही प्रोसीजर है थ्रू विच यू go through and get the funding, and how you judge the investors as well, that because basically it's a collaboration, right? So it should be like from your say as well कि इस बंदे के साथ यार मैं काम करना चाहता हूँ, that's why you are taking his or her money, right?
Right.
So what's all, how you break down this thing?
So I think for every startup, they have to think when is the right time to go for funding. Many startups they can do without funding also. You know, many startups can't even go to the next stage without funding. You know, like if someone is in not drone technology, you know, to create a prototype you need funds, you know, and so many startups are capital intensive, so they need fund, you know. But if you can bootstrap, if you can find a way to get around funding, then you should try it.
बेसिकली जो मैं भी यही मानता हूँ, जब तक बूटस्ट्रैप हो सकता है बूटस्ट्रैप करो,
Right.
when it is really required for the funding and you really are clear about how you are going to spend, right, then you should go. Is it correct way of like interpretation?
Right, of course. अगर आपको आपको अब लगता है कि you know you have to jump 10x 20x and for that you need funding, you know, और या फिर आपने प्रोटोटाइप को बिल्ड किया and you are like, you know, this is working really
Production
well,
start
you know,
करना है.
and now I need to expand, you know, so you can seek for funding. Now funding seek करने के भी बहुत सारे रास्ते होते हैं. So if you are at an early stage, a very early stage, you will be going for pre-seed round, you know, and there you will be looking after angel investors, family and friends, you know. You can look for some grants, government grants या फिर university grants वगैरह, that you can look after, and yeah, and then you can you know, you should fundamentally you should have a pitch deck, you know, financial modeling, how you are going to spend the money, you know, and what goals are you going to achieve by spending that money, you know. So right, I would recommend for your audience, there is a pitch deck template by Ratan Tata and NASCOM. You can find it online. You can also look after pitch deck of Airbnb, Uber, etc. For examples, what are the kind of things that you have to add. Pitch deck shouldn't be very lengthy. Many people do this. That's the thing, that they add too many things in pitch deck. You know, too many slides. But pitch deck are generally 15 slides. You know, and it's very straightforward. It talks about problem, solution, what are you building, what's the competition, you know, what's the revenue streams, what's the progress till date, etc., what's the team, etc., you know. So it's very straightforward. Pitch deck is a process which helps you also better conceptualize your business.
Okay.
So it might be that you think that मैं ये भी कर सकता हूँ, ये भी कर सकता हूँ, ये भी कर सकता हूँ, and you might want to include all of those things in a pitch deck, but then you will start thinking that it's very confusing.
Basically, you're saying concrete.
Right.
It should be like very much like they should relatable and achievable. है ना?
Right.
It should not be like कि ये भी कर दूंगा, ये भी कर दूंगा और उन्हें लगे यार एंड में कुछ नहीं होने वाला।
हाँ, और कहीं ना कहीं जब आप उसे आप पिच डेक को डॉक्यूमेंट कर रहे होते हैं तो आपके खुद के भी माइंड में क्लैरिटी आती है कि यार ओके, दिस इज हाउ आई शुड डिफाइन माई बिजनेस। लाइक फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर मैं बोलूँ कि डिफाइन योर स्टार्टअप, यू नो, देयर आर फ्यू प्लेटफॉर्म्स जहाँ पे बोलते हैं कि यू नो डिफाइन योर स्टार्टअप्स इन 50 कैरेक्टर्स।
ओके ओके।
अब वहां पे लिमिटेशन आ गया कि 50 कैरेक्टर्स बोल दिया, यू नो। फिर आता है कि डिफाइन योर स्टार्टअप इन 4 लाइन्स। फिर आएगा डिफाइन योर स्टार्टअप इन 250 वर्ड्स, यू नो। तो कहीं ना कहीं आपको अपने स्टार्टअप को 50 कैरेक्टर्स में भी डिफाइन करना आना चाहिए, 4 लाइन में भी डिफाइन करना आना चाहिए, और एक लेंथी डेफिनेशन भी होना चाहिए कि व्हाट आई मीन, you know, what am I really building?
Okay.
You know, and you know, we start with why of this startup, क्यों कर रहे हैं, you know, then you go for how.
यार आदिल, बहुत मजा आ रहा है आपसे बातें करके। फंडिंग वाला टॉपिक वाज वेरी यू नो क्लोज टू माय हार्ट, तो बड़ा अच्छा लगा। अभी नेक्स्ट टॉपिक जो जिसपे मैं जाना चाहता हूँ, इसमें बड़े सारे क्वेश्चंस मुझे खुद को आते हैं, प्लस मुझसे भी कई बार लोग पूछते हैं ये क्वेश्चन। तो अबाउट द ब्रांड, लाइक हाउ यू आर क्रिएटिंग गुरुकुल एज अ ब्रांड, एज यू गिव इट अ नेम, हाउ इम्पोर्टेंट नेम इन द मेकिंग अ ब्रांड, लाइक
यार ब्रांड बिल्डिंग इज एन आर्ट, यू नो, एंड ब्रांड अगर बनाना है तो लाइक वी आर स्टिल इन द बिल्डिंग प्रोसेस, बट देयर आर फ्यू थिंग्स दैट वी हैव इंश्योर्ड। फर्स्ट इज यू इंश्योर योर ब्रांड लीगली, जो कि अच्छा जैसे आपने डोमेन परचेज किया या ट्रेडमार्क करवाया, यू नो, या फिर आपने यू नो लीगली एक ट्रेडमार्क नहीं, बहुत सारे मल्टीपल ट्रेडमार्क्स करवाए एंड यू गॉट इट सिक्योर्ड, यू नो, कंपनी भी उस तरह से रजिस्टर किया। सो यू काइंड ऑफ सिक्योर योर ब्रांड फर्स्ट, and then you move on to okay, what next? So social media presence is very crucial for brand building, and all your social media platforms should convey the message that you stand for, the vision that you stand for. Also, you know, when you are building a brand, there are few things, a small thing like design system hona chahiye aapka, you know, the kind of font you are using, the kind of design you are using, the colors that you use, ताकि कोई भी डिजाइन अगर कोई भी देखे, they are like, oh, this is Gurucool's design, you know, ऐसा लगना चाहिए। अब जैसे
with the you want to create an identity with all these designs,
right,
it belongs to Gurucool, right,
it's Gurucool। अच्छा ये like I've done, आपने देखा होगा कि Swiggy Zomato ने, you know, how they have kind of they are food companies, but then they are food delivery company, but then their social media platforms are filled with memes, you know, jokes and all the puns वगैरह. So that's the kind of engagement that they are seeking with their audience, you know, building a relationship. So brand is what you are building first, but then brand is also what other people think that you are, you know,
their perception
of you, right? You know, that's actual brand, what they think. So always ask people, you know, what is Gurucool, you know, what is, or whatever XYZ your company is, you know, that's the brand.
तो लेकिन इसमें ना क्वेश्चन आता है बजट, क्योंकि मैं शार्क टैंक देख रहा था एक बार, तो उसमें वो बंदा बोलता है कि ही वाज नॉट प्रॉफिटेबल, और उसने बहुत सारा पैसा उठाया था। तो शार्क्स आस्क कि कहाँ पैसा गया है, कि मैंने सारा पैसा ब्रांडिंग और मार्केटिंग में लगा दिया। तो उस टाइम पे शार्क्स ने आई शुड अमन ने सजेस्ट किया था कि फर्स्ट योर प्रोडक्ट शुड बी गुड, राइट? तो यहाँ पे ना कई लोग भटक जाते हैं कि ब्रांडिंग और मार्केटिंग में बहुत ज़्यादा बजट लगा दिया या कम लगा दिया, तो क्या बैलेंस है, कितना हमें लगाना चाहिए बजट वहाँ पे, कितना फाइनेंशियली खुद को वहाँ पे, और किस टाइम पे आके हमें उसको एक्सेलरेट करना चाहिए, वो कैसे करना चाहिए? हाउ यू सी दैट?
सी, टू ईच देयर ओन, और हमें इसको समझना होगा। अब जैसे कि लेट्स से जियो अगर मार्केट में आ रहा है, यू नो, मुकेश अंबानी और रिलायंस विल हैव बिलियंस ऑफ डॉलर्स टू बर्न, you know, and build the brand which is Jio right now, you know. तो जिसके पास है, जिसके पास पावर है, रिसोर्सेज हैं, यू नो, डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन चैनल है, यू नो, सो उनका वो मेथड वर्क करेगा। बट इफ यू डू नॉट हैव all the resources in the world, if you're a startup, you have to learn to do it in scarce resources.
Okay.
And you have to be very frugal, very, you know, कि अच्छा खर्च जो कर रहे हैं बहुत ही कम पैसे में कैसे हो सकता है। तो वही अगर मेरा
सोच समझ के
हाँ, कस्टमर एक्विजिशन कॉस्ट कोई अगर मेरे लेट्स से अगर 10 रुपए है, हाउ कैन आई ब्रिंग इट डाउन टू 5 रुपीज, और हाउ कैन आई, you know, retain the customer, and how can I retain the customer for, you know, much longer than they are retained for right now.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
so brand building is creating the brand as frugally as you can, as you mentioned, you know, that Aman mentioned, product, you know, marketing is 4 P's. और ये 4 P को आपको समझना होगा,
सेम अमन से,
है ना? Yeah, you know, so product, how good is your product, what is your product, you know, place, you know, promotion, कि आप किस तरह से आप उसको promote कर रहे हैं, you know. So you have to really think about the resources that you have, the and what kind of a brand you want to build.
Okay.
You know, not every brand needs to be और ये भी है कि हाँ, आप ब्रांड जो बिल्ड कर रहे हैं तो आप जरूरी नहीं है कि आपने पूरे वर्ल्ड के लिए एक बार में ब्रांड बिल्ड करना शुरू कर दिया। यू कैन स्टार्ट विद एन एम्पेरिकल मॉडल। अब जैसे मैं गौर सिटी में हूँ, यू नो, आई कैन थिंक ऑफ बिल्डिंग अ ब्रांड इन गौर सिटी फर्स्ट।
मैंने ये एक बड़ी अच्छी लाइन सुनी थी, मुझे बड़ी अच्छी लगी, करेक्ट मी कि हाउ, है ना, वो सुना था कि डोंट बी ट्राई टू लाइक बी एवरीथिंग फॉर एवरीवन, बी एवरीथिंग फॉर समवन।
राइट, वेरी रोमांटिक।
बट ये इज इट लाइक अप्रोच गुड फॉर एवरीथिंग? लाइक राइट,
आप यू नो, आप लाखों लोगों को बेच रहे हैं क्रैप प्रोडक्ट, यू नो, जिसको लोग मतलब ट्राई करके दे आर लाइक फालतू, क्या फालतू चीज था, यू नो, रादर देन आपने 100 लोगों बेचा एंड 100 में से कई सारे लोग आपके फैन हो गए, आपके प्रोडक्ट के फैन हो गए, यू नो। सो कहा जाता है कि डोंट क्रिएट कस्टमर्स, क्रिएट रेविंग फैंस।
इंटरेस्टिंग। सो इसी से नेक्स्ट, आप किसके रेविंग फैन हो? विच ब्रांड लाइक इंस्पायर यू? बिकॉज जैसे मैं हूँ, आई एम अ बिग फैन ऑफ एप्पल। हाउ, मतलब इतना कॉस्टली होने के बाद भी एवरीबडी इज मैड अबाउट एप्पल, राइट? सो दे आर, कोई कमी नहीं है फोन्स की, स्मार्टफोन्स आर देयर, बट स्टिल एप्पल इज एप्पल, राइट?
राइट।
सो दैट ब्रांड इज समथिंग, आई डोंट थिंक गूगल the same. So which brand inspire you to when you are creating your brand Gurucool?
See, I think, you know, when we think about brand, we always try to think globally and the best out there, you know, the most known brands out there. But also I kind of think that, you know, the brands that are locally present,
Okay.
you know, and they are not just locally present, but they are providing you know, they are competing with the big players and yet they are not just surviving, but they are thriving. They are delivering quality products. So
Like any such brand, you know?
and let's say let's say DAV Public School, you
Okay.
know. So where I come from, you know, DAV Public School is a big brand in a school. You know that
The education
okay,
system.
he is going to go to DAV Public School. You know, uh, uh, so there are lots of brand in very in many sectors. You know, Tata's. You know, the Tata brand. I'm fan of it.
Yeah,
How
टाटा भी रिलेट विद लाइक यू वर सेइंग ना परसेप्शन, तो वो टाटा के लिए बहुत सही सेट होता है. वेन एवर वी सॉ सम, मतलब वो कुछ भी बना रहे हैं हमें ट्रस्ट हो जाता है.
Tata Trust.
टाटा
Yeah.
ट्रस्ट, राइट?
Tata equals to trust.
Trust,
You
correct.
know, because they have won over our hearts. You know,
Correct.
And they have shown what can a brand stand for.
They have shown
You know,
their credibility.
yeah, they have shown what a brand can stand for. A brand cannot just stand for its own benefit,
Correct.
but a brand can stand for people.
Correct.
You know, and if a company is built to give back to its people, you know, everybody is going to like it. You know, so I really love how the Tatas have built the brand. You know, Wipro, you know, how Azim Premji has built it.
Yeah, obviously there are matlab, many examples in India as well. I mean,
Right.
I'm also like big fan of Reliance as well, because they are in majorly now in retail, they are growing, but as a brand in India, people recognize us by Reliance as well, right?
Right.
So
There's this recognition, you know, that Reliance have built.
yeah,
Funny thing is that my father had a chain of schools,
okay.
you know, called Reliance.
So that's the goal, I guess. People want to reach key. Now after once you make the brand, people will use it. You know, continue with that.
Right. You know,
So मतलब अच्छा ये I was like, why I was asking you what's your like brand you look for, right? So basically my question was like when you are creating something, okay, तो उसमें क्या होता है कि आप कहीं से वो सोर्स ऑफ नॉलेज आपका होता है ना, या आप किसी ब्रांड को लुक कर रहे हो, या आपका सोर्स ऑफ नॉलेज वो क्या है कि जब व्हेन यू आर रनिंग गुरुकुल यू नीड टू कीप लर्निंग, राइट?
true.
बेशक आप $1 बिलियन कंपनी खड़ी कर लो, कहाँ भी पहुंच जाओ, यू नीड टू कीप लर्निंग. सो व्हाट्स योर सोर्स ऑफ नॉलेज?
I really look up to few, you know, edtechs that have immensely contributed to education system,
Okay.
and that have vouched for open education, you know, accessible education, quality education. So like Khan Academy, you know, I'm a big fan of Khan Academy.
Okay.
You know,
that is offline, right? But
online.
online.
You know,
Okay.
Khan Academy is one of the largest free learning platforms out there in the world.
Okay.
You know, then you have TED. You know, you have quality TED videos, TEDx videos, TED
Okay.
Ed videos. You know, so you also have platforms like edX, Coursera, etc. You know, and you kind of look at all when you are building. You know, you look at all those players out there, whether they are in non-profit, whether they are in profit, whether you know they are locally present, whether they are globally present, whether they are solving a problem in let's say K-12, or whether they are solving a problem in job or skilling market, or whether they are solving a problem in you know, for university students. You kind of if you are building something, you always have to take everything in, so
Okay.
that you can think that what can you add to it. You know,
Okay.
you cannot just build something which is already there and build something which is mediocre. No, build something which nobody wants.
Okay.
So for that you have to build something which people really value, and to do that you have to study how the products that are there loved by many people, why they are loved by many people, you know.
Totally agree. Totally agree. But mentors are important. Do you have any mentors?
I think mentors are important, right? Guidance is more important, you know,
Okay.
at right time. So you know, there are in startup world,
Okay.
there are few preachers who kind of act like mentors, but then they just kind of preach, or uh, you know, just like in any other world you find people who
हाँ ज्ञान बांट
ज्ञान
रहे
बांटने
हैं
ज्ञान
तो
बांटने का काम
हाँ
करने
हाँ हाँ हाँ
you know. But I
but
think
that you will find
हाँ,
everywhere.
right, they are not mentors. Like find people who are really into startups, who have done startups, you know. Nobody can, I do not believe in mentor, startup mentor who hasn't done startup themselves. Whether that a startup was a you know, failure
Failure
or
or success
success, it
doesn't
doesn't
matter.
matter. But when you have done it,
Okay.
when you have been there, your perspective is really different than when you are like, you know, preaching from afar, you know, कि ऐसा कर लो वैसा कर लो, ये ठीक रहेगा वो ठीक रहेगा,
Totally
you
agree.
know,
Yeah.
स्टार्टअप वाले अंकल, वैसा नहीं चाहिए, you know. तो आई थिंक इम्पोर्टेंट होता है इन द सेंस कि अच्छा, हाउ शुड अ टीम बी फॉर्म्ड, आपका कैप टेबल किस तरह से दिखना चाहिए, आपका पिच डेक कैसा होना चाहिए, how should you come, how should you have the conversation with the investors, you know, how to identify the problems, how to find the go to strategy,
Okay.
you know, go to market strategy, how to sell, you know, how to earn the trust of the customers, how to iterate, you know, all of those things you got to either learn, and you can do that yourself, but it will take a lot of time and energy. And if you have right kind of people, right kind of mentors, you know, then you can do it much easily without, एक होता है ना कि एक डूब डूब के सीखे, और एक किसी अच्छे नेक इंसान ने सिखा दिया, किसी मेंटर, किसी गुरु ने सिखा दिया कि ऐसा नहीं ऐसा करो. So for that there are programs, you know, there are incubators that you can go to, there are accelerators that you can go to, you can also find startup advisors or mentors, but be very careful whom you want to go with. There are many, you know, so-called incubators or so-called gurus who would want equity and lots of equity in terms of in
Your
exchange of
startup.
what they are going to do. But be very measured, be very frugal in how you know, how you want to onboard someone in your startup.
Actually, I totally agree what you're saying. कि mentors important है, लेकिन you have to choose them very clearly. That is the responsibility on you, because
True.
वही कहते हैं ना, एक चीज से आपका नैया पार भी हो सकती है, नैया डूब भी जाएगी.
Right.
So that is where the mentorship is there.
True.
So अभी हम थोड़ा सा अपने पॉडकास्ट के एंड की तरफ हैं. तो in this, India is growing. Nobody can like think differently. Everybody agrees now that India is growing. So what do you see the next biggest opportunity? Do you see in the education system, education sector is the biggest opportunity, or anywhere else you see in coming 5 or 10 years? Where do you see?
If I am in edtech, of course I see a big opportunity there.
Okay.
You know, in education sector. But as you said, India is growing, and as India is growing, there are opportunities all over the place.
Okay.
You know, whether you want to go into agri-tech, or you want to go into medtech, edtech, you know.
So basically tech is the
Yeah, and it there was this saying that, you know, if you are doing a startup, even if you are doing it traditionally, you have been doing it traditionally, add tech to it. You know, now next thing which has come now is that if you are doing tech, add AI to it. So if I'm doing edtech, I must add AI to
Yeah,
it. Otherwise, 5 years down the line, I'll not be among the big players out there.
big
You know,
players plus the latest what's going on,
right?
right?
I'll be far behind. So
Mm.
like I have to think from right now only. How can I add AI to my startup? You know,
Okay, yeah.
and that's the question that every startup founder needs to think upon.
So मैं इनको summarize कर दूं, guys. Next biggest opportunity is in tech and AI. That's what he's saying. In short. So Adil, one last tip, or like one not tip even. So one suggestion. Who wants to start in this? Because as you said, there's a lot of opportunity in edtech, right? So people seeing this episode, if somebody wants to go into edtech, so what one suggestion you want to give, like do this right or explore these things, then there is no coming. So is there anything like that? First they need to crack down and then jump on that idea.
So there's this saying that either jump and then think,
Okay.
or think and then jump.
Mm-hmm.
Plunge and think and plunge. तो दो एस्पेक्ट हो सकते हैं कि आपने बिल्कुल like many people, I find it funny though, many people who want to do business, what they say, I want to do business, but let me first do this course, then I'll do MBA, then I'll have this much of practice, then I'll collect this much money, and then I'll do business.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one approach, but then I kind of align with that approach, where if you have something right now and you really believe in it,
Okay.
do it right now, because you never know how the world is going to change, in what direction, and somebody is out there who is still looking at the same problem, because you are not the special one who has the special ability to look at the problem. Everyone is we as human beings have been framed in a way that we always look at this pot, the dot in a whole space of white space, so we know how to find the problems. That's वो कमाल की बात नहीं है. फाइंडिंग अ प्रॉब्लम इज नॉट कमाल की बात,
Working on
एक्टिंग
it.
अपॉन इट.
Yeah.
जब मैं कह रहा था कि करने का गूदा होना चाहिए, करने का करेज होना चाहिए, and so if you have something, start, you do the research. Research is the part that we miss. You should do the research, what it needs to be. Not I can suggest few courses. You can do few courses, online courses which are very easy, जो कि आपको कम से कम बेसिक चीजों से अवेयर करा देगा. You have business entrepreneurship course from Crash Course on YouTube channel. You can do many courses on Coursera. You can also find many courses on our platform Gurucool. Just
No, it's really cool platform, guys.
So-
Please go and check that platform.
so
I will give the link below.
yeah, so you do the basic research of things and start. You will कहते हैं कि जब हम करते हैं तो हम करते करते भी सीखते हैं, and rather than waiting for years doing MBA and everything, if you really want to do, don't find an excuse not to do.
Totally agree.
Find excuses to do it.
Correct.
कि अभी ही क्यों करना चाहिए,
इन शॉर्ट मतलब मेरा भी सिमिलर व्यू है, बट विद स्लाइट की डू इट, टेक एन एक्शन, डोंट गो फॉर परफेक्शन. ओके, बट डू सम रिसर्च. जैसे आपने बोला थिंक एंड देन जंप, राइट? तो थोड़ा जो भी आप कर रहे हो, डोंट गो फॉर बिग, गो फॉर स्मॉल, टेक अ कैलकुलेटेड रिस्क, बट इट शुड बी कैलकुलेटेड. सो मैं नहीं कह रहा पहले दिन में लाइक saying Rome is not built in a day, but at least whatever you are going to do, however small, go with some little plan, concrete plan, and then execute it. Don't go for perfection on the first day, that's not going to come anymore.
I think like कभी भी अगर स्टार्टअप की बात आती है
Mhm.
तो there are various school of thoughts. एक school of thought कहेगा कि go for calculated risk, but then there is another school of thought which is like कि you have to be crazy, you have to be mad enough, angry enough to do it, सब चीज दाव पे लगा तो अब आपकी चॉइस है. व्हाट आई थिंक पीपल शुड थिंक ऑफ फॉर देयर ओन ऑल्सो. आई अगर आप
What works for you should work for you.
if it works for you then it's fine. जरूरी नहीं है you have to be crazy enough to जो अभी मेरा घर चल रहा था, घर बार का सारा जो मैं काम कर रहा था, जो जॉब से पैसे आ रहे थे ना, सब उड़ा दिए एंड अब घर में खाने को पैसे नहीं है. इस तरह वाला सिचुएशन नहीं करना है. डोंट बी crazy enough to do that, or you can do it, never know. But the thing is that of course you have to have a certain level of faith that hey, what you're going to do, you're going to, don't be foolish in having like एक होता है ना कि rational
Correct.
idea ही नहीं.
It is the right word.
So,
rationality.
have little bit of rationality to it.
Correct.
बाकी कई दफा ये होता है कि प्रोडक्ट को समझने में, खुद भी समझने में एंड उसका प्रॉब्लम्स को फाइंड करने में, कि कई दफा हम आइडिया तो सोच लेते हैं कि यार आज जैसे कि आई वाज इन अ रेस्टोरेंट and then I was eating and people were finding कि अच्छा ये खाना चाहिए, ये खाना चाहिए, ये खाना चाहिए, names were very cool, Friends, Game of Thrones, इस तरह के नाम. अब लेकिन इससे पता कैसे चलेगा कि टेस्ट कैसे करता है.
Correct.
So what I was like कि why not have some card, taste card.
Okay.
Taste card जो आप like before choosing you can have that card. You
like
can just
beer we have the samples, right?
right. So how can we create a taste card which is attached in a menu? So just a random thought which I like to think कि अच्छा हमें कुछ भी बकवास सोचो लेकिन सोचो जरूर. तो इस तरह से आप सोच सकते हैं, but then you also have to think whether it can be turned into a business. Don't think something which is not a problem for many people. Think of a problem which is really a problem for many people and which can be turned into a business, profitable business.
Thank you, Adil. It was like great conversation. I guess it will be helpful for our audience, but more than that, it was helpful for me. It was really good talking to you, brother.
It was really good, great talking to you, and thank you so much for inviting. I hope I added some value.
Definitely,
but,
no doubt in that. but our views will tell how much value. Just kidding.
I think views are not the measure to measure how good your content is. But all the best, and I think that's a really great initiative to bring in entrepreneurial views on your podcast, and wish you luck for that. Thank you so much for inviting.
Thank you, Adil. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Yeah.